In this video, I'll be going over how to add mixed numbers. Here's an example. When adding mixed numbers, we want to first align the whole numbers and the fractions. So we will write it out like this. So what we're trying to do here is to add the whole numbers together and the fractions together. However, the first thing is we need to make sure that the denominators are the same. To get the greatest common factor, we could look at the number 7 and then look at the number 2. To get the denominator the same, we could simply times 7 by 2 and 2 by 7. So here we can go ahead and times 2. When we times the denominator by 2, we need to do the same in the numerator. And for the second fraction, the 2 need to times by 7 and the numerator by 7. So if we rewrite this, we will have 4, 6, 14, plus 3, 7, 14. Now that the denominators are the same, we simply take 6 plus 7, and we have 13 over 14. And then the whole number 4 plus 3 would just be 7. And we can see that the fraction cannot no longer be simplified, so this would be our answer, 7 and 13 over 14. Now what about this one? So again, we'll go ahead and write this out. And we're going to go ahead and look for the greatest common factor. Here we have 5 and 10. So we can see that 5 would need to times by 2. And then the 10 would need to times by 1. So we can go ahead and times 5 by 2. The numerator also by 2. And 10 will be by 1 and 7 will be by 1. And to rewrite this, we will have 8. And then this will become 4, 10, and then 5, and then 7, 10. Okay, and now we can complete. 4 plus 7 is 11 over 10. 8 plus 5 is 13. We can see that the fraction is improper fraction. 11 over 10 equals 1 and 1 over 10. So you want to take the fraction and then add the whole number. And our final answer will become 14 and 1/10. So these two are examples of how you would add mixed numbers. In this video, I'll be going over how to subtract mixed numbers. Here's an example. When subtracting mixed numbers, we want to align the whole number and the fractions, like so. The next step is to find the greatest common factor so that the denominator would be the same. In this case, we have 5 and 10. So we know 5 times 2 will equals 10, and 10 will times 1. So denominator, so the denominator here, we would times by 1, and the numerator also by 1. For 5, we would times by 2, and the numerator by 2. And now to rewrite this, now that we have the denominators the same, we can proceed with the subtraction. So we'll simply take 6 minus 4 equals 2. And then 7 minus 4 equals 3. And then 2/10, we could further simplify this by dividing it by 2, and that will equal 1/5, 3. So that answer is 3 and 1/5. Here is another example. We first align the whole number and the fraction. Then we find out the greatest common factor to get the denominator the same. So 4 we need to times 2, 8 need to times by 1. Then we rewrite denominator being the same. Now we can proceed with subtraction. Now here is an issue. We have the number 2 being smaller than 5, so we could not subtract. And therefore, we need to borrow 1 from the 9 in order to proceed. So 9 2/8. To borrow 1 from 9, it would be 8 plus 1 equals 9, and then plus 2/8. And the 1 here that we borrow from 9 is equivalent to 8/8. So if we rewrite this, it will look something like this. And so the new mixed number would become 8/10/8. And now we can replace this for this. So if we rewrite this, it would be 8/10/8 minus 2 5/8. And if we take 10 minus 5, we will have 5/8, and 8 minus 2 is 6. And so our answer would be 6 5/8. So these two are examples of how you would subtract mixed numbers. In this video, I'll be going over how to multiply mixed numbers. In order to multiply mixed numbers, we need to first convert it to fractions, and then simplify if any, then do the actual multiplication, and then converting back to mixed numbers. In this example, we need to convert this mixed number and this mixed number to fractions as our first step. We would take the 4 times the 3 and then plus the 2. So the first step is to take 4 times the denominator and then add the numerator after. So if we do that, it will be 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. So we will end up with 14, and then we would leave the denominator the same, which is 3. So it's 14/3. And for the second fraction, we would do the same, times the denominator and plus the numerator. So 2 times 9 is 18. 18 plus 4 is 22. And the denominator stays the same as 9. And now we're ready to multiply. So when we're multiplying the two fractions, we want to see if any of the numbers can be simplified before we multiply. Now from this example, we don't see any that can be simplified. So therefore, we're just going to times the numerator by numerator and the denominator by denominator. So we'll have 14 times 22, and that gives us 308. And then the denominator of 3 times 9 is 27. Now the final step will be converting it back to the mixed number. Then in order to do that, we will take 308 divided by 27. So we're basically taking the numerator divided by the denominator. So from here, 30 divided by 27 is 1. This becomes 3, bring down the 8. And now we have 38 divided by 27, which would be 1, 27, and then we will have 11. So 11 would be the remainder. And the way that we would write it as a mixed number, we would take the answer that we got, place that as a number. Secondly, we would take the remainder, place in the numerator, and then we would take the divisor, which is 27, as the denominator. And so our answer will become 11 and 11 over 27. Now what about this one? In this case, we're going to convert to fraction just like before. So we'll take 6 times 7 plus 2. And that will give us 6 times 7 is 42. 42 plus the 2 is 44 over 7. And here, 3 times 8 plus 5. So we have 3 times 8 is 24 plus 5 is 29 over 8. Now the second part, simplify if any. We're going to see if anything can be simplified here. From here, we can see that the A and the 44 are both divisible by 4. So if we divide that by 4, we will get 2 here and 11 here. And now we're ready to multiply. So we're taking 11 times 29, and we'll have 319. Then 7 times 2, which is 14. And now we're finally ready for the last step, which is converting it back to mixed number. So we'll take 319, the numerator, divided by the denominator, which is 14. So we'll look at 31 and 14. You can see 2 will go in, and this will become 28. We minus that, becomes 3, bring down the 9. And 39 and 14 will be 2 again, and 28. 39 minus 28 is 11, and 11 will be our remainder. So the answer here, 22, would be the whole number. The 11 here would be the numerator, and the divisor here would be the denominator. So our answer will come out to 22, 11, 14. So these two are examples of how you multiply mixed numbers. We also have other fraction tutorials in the comment section, and thank you for watching. In this video, I'll be going over dividing mixed numbers. There are a total of 3 steps for dividing mixed numbers. The first is to change to improper fraction. Second, change to multiplication. And 3, flip divisor. So here's an example. What we want to do here is to first change the mixed number to improper fraction. So the way we would do it is we would take the 4 times the 7, and then we will add the 5 after. So 4 times 7 is 28, plus 5 equals 33. And so the improper fraction for the first one will be 33 over 7. Now for the second one, we want to do the same thing. So we take 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So we will have 12 over 5. So that completes our first step, which is to change it to improper fraction. Now the second step is to change to multiplication. So from division, we want to change it to multiplication. Then lastly, we need to flip the divisor. So this is the most important part because we need to flip the numerator to the denominator and the denominator to the numerator. So if we were to rewrite this, it would be, and the last step is just to complete the multiplication by multiplying them across. So we will multiply 33 to 5, 7 to 12. And 33 times 5 is 165. And 7 times 12 have 84. Now we can see that the answer comes out to be an improper fraction. So we want to convert it back to a mixed number. In order to do that, we could take 165 divided by 84. We'll have 1 and then 84. We subtract 165 to 84, and we'll have 81 as the remainder. So to rewrite this as a mixed number, it would be 1 and 81 over 84. And that's our answer. And how did we get this? The 1 is the whole number, 81 is the numerator, and 84 is the denominator. What about this one? Following the same steps, changing to improper fraction. So 12 times 4, and then plus 1. 12 times 4, we get 48, and then plus 1 is 49. So we get 49 over 4. Second, 5 times 8. 5 times 8 is 40, and then plus 3 is 43. So we have 43 over 8. Okay. Second portion, change to multiplication. And third, flip the divisor. So here we're going to go ahead and flip them. And that's going to come out to 49 over 4 times by 8 over 43. By looking at this, we could actually simplify before we multiply. The number 8 and the number 4 are both divisible by 4. And therefore, we can divide this by 4 and divide this by 4. And if we were to rewrite this, we would have 49 over 1 times 2 over 43. The last step is just to complete the multiplication. We're gonna go ahead and multiply across. 49 times 2 is 98, and then 43. And the last step would just be converting the improper fraction back to the mixed number. So then we'll take 98 divided by 43. You can see 2 can go into that. 43 times 2 is 86. So we'll subtract 98 to 86. We get 12. So 12 is a remainder. So we're going to write the mixed number as 2 and 12 over 43. And that's our final answer. So these two examples are how you would divide mixed numbers. Hope this is helpful, and thank you for watching.